mic a bit. I think this is audible, right? Yeah. Cool. Okay. Yeah, so we'll get started. So as I was saying, that this session is about CX in education, that is customer experience, customer engagement in the education sector. We have Mohammed Farooq Khan. He is the Vice President of Aakash Education Services Limited. He takes care of admission support over there. We have Dr. Debajyoti Kar, who is the founder and CEO of PrepMed NEET. And we have with us Shivam Dikshit, who is the Director of Enterprise Business at MyOperator, the technology provider when it comes to WhatsApp, voice, and omnichannel communication. So these three leaders, two from one of the most renowned education sector brands, and one definitely from our very own home brand, MyOperator. We'll be talking about how you can improve your CX. आप अपना customer engagement कैसे बेहतर कर सकते हैं across all sections. But before I go on forward, I'll just give the baton to all the speakers once so that you can introduce yourself to the audience. I think you guys can do it much better. So I think Farooq, you're first one on my screen. So can you take a moment and let the audience know who is Farooq
Yeah,
Khan?
yeah, Sharaf. Thank you so much. So first of all, thanks for inviting me for this webinar. So my name is Farooq, and I have around 18 years of experience of this industry, the telecom and sales. And from last 12 years, I'm engaged with Aakash. So I have started the inside sales of Aakash with 3 people 12 years back, and now it's around 700-800 people. We are managing the sales of entire country. So I have made like what I have seen in my journey that technology plays very important role uh, in edtech. So I will explain and I will share my experience later on. Yeah.
For sure, we'll learn more about your experience definitely with the flow of questions. Dr. Debajyoti, can you please take a moment to tell us what is PrepMed NEET and who is Dr. Debajyoti Kar?
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much, firstly, my operator and the entire attendees, whoever you here. So here, basically, PrepMed NEET. I'm the CEO and the founder of PrepMed NEET. I myself, being a doctor, since 2012, I realized many facts where we, being the education from the education industry, we can work on it. So we started something PrepMed NEET from 2019. And we started with something 10 people, I guess only 10 students only. And now we are catering in our offline and online altogether, all about 5,000 students at the same point of time. So this is all about, like, I would definitely share. There are many things how we can engage the students, how we can create. In PrepMed NEET, we mainly believe on impact creations, and definitely, technical tools are one of the integral part when you are trying to create the impact, be it in service or sales, whatever you say. So that's something. And apart from my profession, definitely I would discuss more about today on the sales part, because that's today's motto from my operator as well.
For sure, for sure. And I'm sure we have introduced Shivam many a times, but I think Shivam, you can take a moment to let the new audience here know.
Thank you, Sanad. Very welcome, Farooq sir and Debajyoti sir. I am Shivam Dikshit. I head enterprise business at MyOperator, and I've been in the telecom space for last 15, 16 years. And we've created some uh, very interesting use cases for education sector, which have benefited the entire segment, starting from schools to universities to coaching institutes. So my team is credited with creating high impact ROI use cases for the problems that leaders in different sectors face. So we try to solve it with the help of communications. That's what we do. Thank you.
Awesome. And I think we'll talk more about this entire engagement thing as Debajyoti and Farooq put. That we'll talk more about how you guys do what you do best. Uh, before I move on forward, I'll just take a moment to explain the flow of the event to the audience. So audience, आप सभी लोगों के लिए, we'll have a few questions for all the speakers first, which ऐसे questions that are framed so that they can answer and you can get the answer to most of your queries around customer engagement. और उसके बाद we will have a Q&A session. So you can put your questions in the Q&A box. You can put your question in the chat section, and we'll then ask them to the speakers. And I hope that you'll get your answers in time. So without wasting any more time, let me just get started with my first question, which is for Farooq here. So Farooq, we have all heard of Aakash Education. I mean, there is nobody, I'm pretty sure, in this audience segment also who has not heard about Aakash Education as a brand in India. And we do acknowledge it as a pioneer in the Indian education industry. But since you have been, in Aakash for the last more than a decade, what are some trends that you see about education industry as a whole, which have changed, ever since the COVID period came in, and things which have not changed at large, which have been the same for the last 10, 20 years in business?
See, one thing which is very important for the customer service, like we are already in a we are in a service industry. So the delivery of the product is very important for us. Like after enrolling to the student, what we are delivering, and what kind of result we are providing, and are we able to fulfill the expectation of the parents and students? Are we able to provide the proper support? So business is something which everybody is doing, but with a business, if we are focusing on the service and delivery part, that is very important. And I think that is not changed in last 15, 20 years, especially in a company like Aakash. We are still focusing on service delivery. Okay. And this is the main thing what I say. Second, if we talk about customer experience, what you said, for the customer experience, technology plays very important role in last 10 years, like the what kind of dialer you are using, what kind of CRM you are using, CTI tools. It changed the complete structure of the business. Like because in our business, we can approach to the students many times. So manually, it is not possible. Like what kind of if you are using the proper CRM, what kind of disposition you are adding. So it is very easy to flash the data. You can see the student, you can approach them at the right time. If you want to connect with maximum, because as much as you will connect with the student, as much as opportunities you will get. So dialer plays very important role. What kind of dialer you are using, like productive dialer you are using, predictive dialer you are using. There are so many things. And a third thing which is very important in this industry, what I think that changed after the COVID, because when COVID came in the picture, uh, people moved to the online educations from offline after this pandemic. But since this COVID pandemic finished, again, people are moving to the offline. But the structure, the timing of the exams, the duration, everything has been changed. So if you see, that is a major change which happened in the last 2, 3 years. One thing which is very, very important in this industry, if we are here, that timing, you should understand the time when you need to approach to the student, like when you need to follow the student. I give the example, if you are talking to one student for a crash course, like short-term course, if he's not enrolled, or after enrolling with you, he's not able to secure the rank or not able to clear the exam. So you can approach to the same student next year for the repeater business. So you should have the proper follow. The timing is very important. What we need to have in our mind for this business, what I think.
Fair enough. And you're very right. End of the day, service delivery or customer experience, customer satisfaction hasn't changed in almost any industry that has existed throughout time. समय कितना ही बीत जाता है, but eventually customer is the king, as old saying goes on. And to please the king is all businesses want. I'll move on to you, Dr. Kar. You do mention across various channels that you have more than a decade of experience in educating NEET aspirants, right? So, what do you think is the value proposition or the experience that education brands or the brands in the edtech or education space should focus on when they are trying to build something meaningful in the education industry? What are those few things that the brands have to focus on if they want to engage students?
Yeah. So basically, when we want to focus any education product, if we want to properly, the value segment is very important because it's all about the impact. It's all about the business of the trust. So it's not important that since how many days you are doing, it's more important that if even one client or students, whatever you say, is approaching to you, and the student definitely should have some impact. Student should get some impact with your services, and definitely it's all about, we know that education expansion, if we talk about, it's I truly believe that word of mouth is very important. So, and to create word of mouth, we should use proper technical tools. Definitely. So if we talk about the value propositions, I would say it's all about the care that you are showing to the students, and definitely to the parents as well. And for any new education product, it's very important getting feedback. And to collect the feedback, definitely we have to integrate proper tools. So collecting proper feedback, proper satisfactions of the clients, and analysis of the feedback. This is the most important. That would give some direction that how the next pathway or roadmap to be designed. Because depending upon the requirement, depending upon the time, depending upon the person, the target audience, you can design the product, you can modify the product time to time, and that's very much important. And your audience will definitely expect the same. That is something that should be done with time.
Fairly put. So feedback is definitely important. I'll just take a moment more to ask you something around feedback only. That in today's time, because Mr. Farooq also mentioned that ever since COVID has come, a lot has changed in the tech space. You cannot really approach students physically in the quantities that you used to, right? I mean, coaching students are seeing students are still coming back in physical schooling, but then a lot of students and a lot of education has got online. So what are some ways where you do suggest, because we ran a poll, and according to the poll, audience said that they engage their customers or students through call, through WhatsApp. Few of them suggested, around less than 50%, through SMS, email, and very few using other methods. But 90 or like 80 to 90% people use call and WhatsApp as the main channels. So how do you think, or which channels do you think are the best ones when you want to take feedback from the student or the customer?
Yes, actually, most common practice of taking feedbacks are basically some people do integrate it with the website. In the website, we can create the proper feedback form. In the app as well, you can integrate the feedback with all, like for after each and every lecture, you can collect the feedback. If you want to collect the feedback as a whole, then you can collect the feedback with WhatsApp module as well. There are a lot of WhatsApp integration tools. You can collect that. You can kind of integrate that in with the WhatsApp, and you can simply blast it out. So with the among the students, and you can collect the data. And so basically, website or WhatsApp, these are the main important effective tools as per my knowledge and my suggestion, where students do respond. And we can collect the feedback from the students. So WhatsApp tools and website integrations of the proper forms. I think that's most important for collecting the feedbacks.
Sounds about right. Any inputs on this, Farooq?
Yeah, I'm aligned with Dr. Debajyoti for this point. One thing what I want to add, very well said by Doctor, that word of mouth is very important in our university, because if one good student is going out and he is giving the feedback to 10 students will come without any further queries. One thing what I would like to share what I am doing here, like we are doing a practice in which we are calling to our existing students and we are taking the feedback over the telephone, because taking the feedback in WhatsApp and in website, general feedback, it's okay. But if you would like to, because after taking the admission, we need to deliver to the student for 1 or 2 years. So every student will have a different kind of queries, because they might have a different queries because they have a different kind of issues. So what we are doing, we are randomly we are calling to the students and we are taking the feedback, like we are taking the academic and non-academic feedback, and based on the feedback, like we are not working on every feedback, because कोई भी student बोल सकता है वो teacher बहुत तेज पढ़ाता है, unnecessary complaint they can do. So but we are very closely working on it. And if there is any common feedback from a group, then we are focusing on that without taking the name of the student or parents, and we are focusing and we are working on it. That help a lot, and that help a lot because teachers are also uh, quite concerned. Like student can give the that kind like one common thing I can say that if students are not comfortable with the language of the teacher, okay, so they can give the normal feedback. If the rate of speech is very high, so we are getting that kind of feedback because at the time of the interview, we judge the teacher in a different way, but the student is the actual judge who will judge the teacher that what kind of teacher he or she is. So we are working in this. So that is also working for us, but that is on telephone. We are calling to the students and taking the feedback. We are talking to them. We are giving 10-15 minutes. We are asking the questions. We have a list of questions. We are asking like if a student have a problem but he is not able to explain, so we have a list of questions where we are asking and we are getting the answer. Based on that, we are creating the SROP. We call it SROP, student reach out program. So we are giving the feedback to our teachers and staff.
That's great. Before I open to Shivam, if you can give us one data point as to any founder in this space, what is the percentage of responses? So say, you mentioned key students will say a lot of small things. छोटी छोटी चीजें जो per student differ कर सकती हैं. Maybe some students are feeling something, as you said, rate of speech. Maybe that is not a problem for a large set, but as a founder, किस point पे आके आपको उस problem को solve करने के लिए सोचना चाहिए? Is it 50%? Is it 70%? What is a average number that a founder should care for?
There will be many complaint where there is no need to reply. Like बहुत सारी चीजें ऐसी भी आएंगी, like student will say the batch size is 50 students, but it should be 45, it should be 40. So we cannot do anything on that because we know how we will manage with 40 students. So we will take the feedback but we can choose that where we need to respond and where there is no need for any response.
So that has to be with the business sense of things also. Because as a founder, eventually you have to think on those lines, which is the most productive way for the company also to help students. Fair enough. I'll move on to Shivam now because we have talked a lot about tech initially. Since Shivam, you deal with multiple education brands to get throughout, while you are here at MyOperator also, you're dealing with multiple education sector brands and tech brands. How are they leveraging this voice and WhatsApp? What all things are they doing on voice and WhatsApp, which you can point out that can help the founders in this audience set?
So, Sanat, with respect to the customers that we are working with, it's probably the journey of call plus voice broadcast plus WhatsApp and SMS is a solution in itself that covers the entire student journey, right from the pre-admission time to his or her graduation or probably selection in a competitive exam if it's a coaching institute. So it would be difficult to probably create the entire journey here. Let me just take top three, four use cases. So the first that I have recently started seeing is automated student qualification. I mean, lead qualification. So what is happening is before the admission season begins, be it a school or a university or a coaching institute, they gather a lot of leads from variety of places. Now, these leads needs to be qualified, and the qualification process is very painful and long. So what we have done is that we have automated it using two methods. We call it a filtering strategy. The first one is a simple WhatsApp chatbot that can interact with the student. We can run a WhatsApp campaign using a WhatsApp bot. The campaign can interact with the student and fetch relevant information such as the uh, class of the student or the branch of the student or city of the student. And once that data, the qualification data is there, we focus on the data that is left. I mean, let's say there's a data of some 1 lakh students. Out of that, only probably 50% or 65% students should be there on WhatsApp. For the rest, we run a similar campaign on your auto dialer. I mean, it's a interactive dialer wherein using the DTMF technology, we seek input from the students on the phone itself. So all the questions that were previously being answered on WhatsApp, if the person does not have a WhatsApp or the reception rate on WhatsApp is poor, we can probably use the DTMF methodology. Now, in both the cases, the process is entirely automated. We don't have to do anything. For WhatsApp, it takes hardly 2 hours, 3 hours to reach out to lakhs of people. With the OBD or the interactive voice, there is the time difference is a bit large. But then again, since it's automated, there is very little manual intervention required. Otherwise, earlier what used to happen, people used to call individually to each of these leads. Now the qualification has been done beforehand. Now the leads that needs to be called upon are already qualified. So that is one use case that we've seen of automatic qualification, the automated qualification. The second is admission assistance. So in recent times, we're working with a lot of schools and universities. What happens is during the admission seasons, they start receiving a lot of inquiries from different mediums. They publish, let's say, a newspaper advertisement or a billboard or different Google adverts. Now they start receiving a lot of inquiries. And though they have a system, CRM system and everything in place, what happens is instant connect is what usually they is missing. So what happens, let's say you are a student, you called the admission office of a school or a coaching institute. Now, when I've spoken with you, every relevant information related to the course that you are inquiring about, be it the college prospectus or the fee structure or the enrollment form or the okay, somebody wants to okay in Hindi.
You can mix a Hindi English thing because I'm not sure how
हाँ,
many other people want
तो
Hindi.
वो जितनी भी चीजें उसको इमिडिएटली रिक्वायर्ड है ना, कि उसका फी स्ट्रक्चर कैसे होने वाला है, उसका एडमिशन फॉर्म कैसे होने वाला है, उसका प्रोस्पेक्टस क्या है, वो फोन रखने के साथ ऑटोमेटिकली व्हाट्सएप पे चला गया। जो काम पहले ये टीम्स मेल पे जाके कर रहे होते हैं, ईमेल पे जाके वो लोग भेज रहे होते हैं या मैनुअली वो भेज रहे होते हैं, we've eliminated that step. You don't have to worry about it. Now what happens is there are certain questions that are very common that comes once you send these forms. अब ये सिर्फ व्हाट्सएप पे नहीं भेजते हैं, एसएमएस के थ्रू लिंक भी भेज सकते हैं, जिसमें लिंक में स्टेप बाय स्टेप वो सारे प्रोसेसेस कंप्लीट कर सकते हैं। सो दैट इज जो एडमिशन असिस्टेंस से रिलेटेड चीजें हैं। और नॉट ओनली दिस, अगर मैं ये देखूं, जो क्वेरी रेजोल्यूशन है वो व्हाट्सएप पे बहुत क्विकली हो रहा है। somebody is facing any difficulty, they are raising it, it is being directly assigned to the agent and the agent is resolving it then and there. So somebody who's engaging has a high probability of closure. You don't want to delay responding to the person who has a high probability. Probably he's speaking with 4 other institute at the same time while he's engaging with you. So your focus should be how to ensure that you are able to give him the quickest possible reply, answer all his questions and doubts, clear all his doubts in the fastest fashion possible. So if that is done, there's I mean, the proactiveness definitely adds to the sentiment of selecting a school or a university or a coaching institute, right? Apart from that, the third thing that we've recently seen is parental communication. Now, we worked with a school, and Farooq sir, this is very interesting. I mean, you would see the school says that we've got 100% paperless. We will send the report cards digitally. We would send the event invites digitally. We would send grades, whatever there is with respect to the student, the deadlines, the fee payment reminders, everything needs to be sent digitally over WhatsApp, email, SMS. uh, as per the choice of the parent. And the exposure rate with respect to WhatsApp is pretty high. I mean, if it's in your inbox, it's in a very personalized space. Even if you are not able to read it right now, probably because you are in a meeting, you would go back home, and when you'll sit down after dinner, you'll scroll and you'll see that somebody has messaged you, and the probability of reply becomes higher in case of WhatsApp as compared to call, because nobody would call you back again 11 in the night, but the WhatsApp message remains there. So the exposure time of WhatsApp is very high. So this is what we've done with the school. Second, another use case with the same school is that we have implemented a solution called as call masking. What was happening is, for each classroom there was a teacher that was supposed to communicate with the parents. So every class had a WhatsApp group with the parents and the teacher. And the parents used to literally call the teacher at any and every time of the day. The teacher was almost harassed. I mean, they were calling her late at night, 9:30. Why has my child not eaten the lunch? Or so there were a lot of issues. Why have been graded F or whatever. So they wanted a call masking solution. So we implemented call masking solution wherein the private number and the personal number of the teacher remains hidden. The entire parents can dial a single number wherein they'll be interacting with the teacher, and in the off hours there is preset messages wherein an automated response is uh, given to the parents saying that this is not the best time because this is you can probably reach out 9 in the morning, something like that. So in a very professional manner they have tackled the cases, and this is almost common in every school. So, specifically in schools where classes below 5, more and more WhatsApp groups are created between the parents and the teachers. And this was earlier, it was meant to probably break certain boundaries and make sure that the parents are aware. But there is a lot of misuse that the parents are doing using that platform. So these are certain use cases I believe are pretty new that we've implemented, and they are growing rapidly.
Sounds about right.
So happy to answer any questions
Sure. So before we move on to
around
asking
those
Farooq
if you might have.
and Debajyoti regarding how they implement WhatsApp, or sorry, MyOperator rather, as a whole in Aakash and PrepMed NEET respectively, I would want their opinion on this one thing that came in my mind, because now students are very approachable, right? And for an education institution, as much as a student is a customer, so to say, in business terms, parents are also equally important, because at the end of the day, in most cases, parents are, if not 100% decision maker, at least 50% decision. They influence decision a lot. You know, कौन सी university में पढ़ोगे, कहाँ जाओगे. Some kids are not allowed to, leave the state, the city. Different parameters for different Indian families, because all of them are very approachable. What are some things that businesses should definitely keep in mind while talking to these parents or approaching these parents, so as to not affect their minds negatively? See, we are talking about the future of India, right? We're talking about students. So in our messages, in our communication, brands have to be very, very careful कि वो किसी नेगेटिव चीज को प्रमोट ना कर दें, या they promote unnecessary competition or whatnot. So what are few
Right.
things that businesses definitely should keep in mind? I mean, Farooq or Debajyoti, if you want to take this first.
Okay, so very nicely framed question, because last time you finally mentioned something that what kind of message a brand should not portray. So I want to mention one thing, that is, if you see the brands who are creating greater impact in educations, definitely today we have Aakash with us, and definitely they are creating nice impact. They have already catering many students since decades. So the important thing is that the core of the business is actually built on trust. So sometimes we can see in nowadays the trend is becoming to create emotions, okay, for educations, and with that emotion we are trying to sell the courses. Okay, my strong belief is that this is not going to be long lasting. If we want to create the emotion and by creating emotion we want to sell the courses, ये ज्यादा दिन तक चलने वाला है नहीं, ठीक है? You can get result for 1 year, 2 year, but after some time we should always focus the power of the product, the power of the services, the genuinity of the services, and also the responsiveness to the grievances. In any brands, definitely they would have some grievance. Definitely there would be so many clients, there will be like out of 100 you may definitely consider 10 students will be saying कि आपका वहाँ पे ये नहीं मिल रहा है, वो नहीं मिल रहा है. So we must be responsive to them. This is very important part, because as I started with something word of mouth, again I am pointing to the same thing. वो जो 10 बच्चे हैं ना जो बता रहे हैं like ये नहीं मिल रहा, वो नहीं मिल रहा, if we are not becoming responsive to them, with time it will enlarge, it will magnify. So my very simple message to all whoever want to ask the questions and how PrepMed has grown to this level to today, जितना भी है जो भी है, the thing is that we are very much responsive to the all the shortcomings. I think this that will be my key message.
Sounds good. Farooq, please add to it.
Sanat, actually, what Dr. Debajyoti said, it is very right. And I would like to add on few things, because word of mouth, which is very important, like, and we are in service industry. So delivery is the most important thing. You will enroll 10 students. If you are able to deliver better, so you will get 50, 100 students next year. So after enrolling to the students, actual journey starts. अब उनको कैसे पढ़ाना है, एडमिशन तो आप लेके कहीं से भी आ जाओ. Like what we do, apart from this, we create some parents app, like in which we provide each and every information of the student to the parents. Like parent is well aware about this. Every week parents are getting the call, like there are PTMs, and we are trying to engage, because at the beginning of this question you said that parents equally take the decision on the career of the students. So as per my understanding, till foundation, parents plays around 70% role to take the decision. After the foundation, parent take around 50%, placed around parents करीब 50%, आधा रोल पेरेंट्स का होता है डिसीजन लेने के लिए बच्चे का आफ्टर द 10th एग्जाम्स. उसके पहले 70% रोल पेरेंट्स प्ले करता है. तो इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कि पेरेंट्स को सारी चीजें पता होनी चाहिए कि मेरा बच्चा क्लास में क्या कर रहा है. आफ्टर ज्वाइनिंग द इंस्टीट्यूट उसकी ऑल इंडिया रैंक बेहतर हो रही है, खराब हो रही है, लाइक ही इज पंक्चुअल और नॉट, एनी पर्टिकुलर सब्जेक्ट जिसमें वो अच्छा कर रहा है या खराब कर रहा है. तो ये जो सारी चीजें, लाइक व्हाट वी डू, लाइक जैसे शिवम सर ने अभी बताया था कि जब स्टूडेंट से फर्स्ट टाइम बात करते हैं, उसके बाद जब तक वो स्टूडेंट नहीं, जब तक उसका रिजल्ट नहीं आता, एक जर्नी बन जाती है. तो वो क्या करता है कि एक जर्नी बन जाती है. दिस जर्नी स्टार्ट्स लाइक कि वी कनेक्ट विद द स्टूडेंट्स. कनेक्ट होने के बाद एक फॉलो अप होता है. लाइक द फॉलो अप मींस स्टूडेंट इज सेइंग ओके वी विल थिंक, या पेरेंट्स कह रहा है कि हम बात करेंगे, 7 दिन बाद कॉल करना, वी विल लेट यू नो, वी विल टेक द डिसीजन इन 7 days. तो हम उसको 7 दिन तक छोड़ते नहीं है, क्योंकि 7 दिन तक आप उसको छोड़ नहीं सकते. कॉम्पिटिटर भी है मार्केट में, बहुत सारा स्ट्रगल दूसरे तरीके का, यू कैन नॉट लीव. ठीक है, क्योंकि आपने जो प्राइस बताया होगा, दूसरा बैठा होगा कि वो प्राइस में उससे कम में दे के उसको दे दो. बहुत सारी चीजें चलती रहती हैं. तो यहाँ पर क्या है कि हमें डायरेक्ट अप्रोच भी नहीं करना है, एक एंगेजमेंट जर्नी बनाना है. लाइक टुडे आई हैव टॉक टू द स्टूडेंट्स, टुडे 6th of March, 7th को छोड़ के 8th of March को उसको एक रिजल्ट चला गया. तो व्हाट इज द रिजल्ट ऑफ आवर पास्ट ईयर एग्जाम्स और स्टूडेंट्स, जो भी था हमारा एकेडमिक परफॉर्मेंस क्या रहा है. उसके बाद व्हाट काइंड ऑफ स्कॉलरशिप वी आर ऑफरिंग. उसके बाद हमारे टेस्ट एंड डिस्कशन क्या चल रहा है, या स्टूडेंट अगर अभी पढ़ रहा है 10th में, उसको नेक्स्ट ईयर के लिए उसको एंगेज करना है, तो कोई क्वेश्चनर भेज दिया, किसी डाउट को क्लियर करने के लिए एक लिंक भेज दिया. तो एक एंगेजमेंट वहां से बनाना शुरू होता है. देन आफ्टर इट विल बी इजी फॉर यू व्हेन यू विल कॉल टू द स्टूडेंट और यू विल टॉक टू देम फेस टू फेस. अब उसके बाद वो एंगेज हो जाता है. एंगेज होने के बाद नाउ पेरेंट्स एंड स्टूडेंट्स, स्टूडेंट तो रोज विजिट कर रहा है आपके पास, आप ऑनलाइन हो तो ऑनलाइन, ऑफलाइन हो तो ऑफलाइन. पेरेंट्स के अंदर भी एक कंसर्न है कि मेरा बच्चा कैसा कर रहा है. तो इफ यू हैव एनी ऐप लाइक दिस, इट विल हेल्प यू अलॉट. इफ यू आर कॉलिंग टू देम ऑन टाइम टू टाइम, इट विल हेल्प यू अलॉट. तो एक एंगेजमेंट दोनों के साथ जरूरी है, और क्लैरिटी बहुत जरूरी है. लाइक कि आप जो डिलीवर करना है, वी नीड टू फोकस ऑन डिलीवरी. अगर बैच में लगता है कैपेसिटी ज्यादा हो रही है और ये कहीं पर भी प्रॉब्लम क्रिएट करेगा, इट्स बेटर टू ड्रॉप. थोड़ा सा बिजनेस कम करो, रिजल्ट अच्छा दो, नेक्स्ट टाइम आपको शायद 4 बैच बनाने पड़े. लाइक कुछ बच्चों को एक्स्ट्रा कर लिया और वो मैनेज नहीं हो पाया, दैट इज नॉट गुड. सो व्हाट आई थिंक, द सर्विस इज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट, डिलीवरी इज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग इन आवर इंडस्ट्री, बिकॉज ये सर्विस इंडस्ट्री है. देखिए, nobody wants to nobody wants to be sold, everybody wants to be helped. कोई नहीं चाहता कि आप उसको ना कुछ चीज बेच के चले जाओ. हर एक बंदा चाहता है कि उसको आप हेल्प करो. और एजुकेशन में करियर लगा हुआ है, बच्चे के इमोशंस लगे हुए हैं, पेरेंट्स के, बच्चे के, पैसा बहुत सारा लगा हुआ है. ये सारी चीजों के बाद अगर आप सिर्फ ये सोचें कि हम सिर्फ बिजनेस कर लेंगे, तो इट विल नॉट वर्क फॉर अ लॉन्ग टाइम. आप जैसे डॉक्टर साहब ने कहा कि आप रिजल्ट दे सकते हैं, 1-2 साल दे सकते हैं, कंटिन्यू कैसे करोगे? वर्ड ऑफ माउथ इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. स्टूडेंट का रिजल्ट अच्छा नहीं आया, कोई बात नहीं, लेकिन पेरेंट्स से कल कोई फीडबैक लेगा नहीं, मेरा ही बच्चा नकारा था, इंस्टीट्यूट वालों ने तो सब करा, मुझे अप टू डेट रखा, मुझे सारी चीजें बताया, टाइम टू टाइम बताते रहे, सब कुछ करा. बिकॉज एवरीबडी विल नॉट क्लियर द जेई. तो सारे लोग नहीं पढ़ेंगे, तो ऐसा तो है नहीं कि सिर्फ उन्हीं का वर्ड ऑफ माउथ, उनका भी होता है जिन्होंने अच्छे से नहीं करा. तो डिपेंड्स. तो हमारे एंगेजमेंट और डिलीवरी, two things are very important for the customer experience.
Sounds about right. So I'll just take, audience में अगर किसी के पास कोई भी questions है, आप chat में लिख सकते हैं. I think we have covered a lot of points, जिसमें से आप फारूक सर की बातों से या फिर डॉक्टर कर की बातों से काफी इंफॉर्मेशन ड्रॉ कर सकते हैं कि आपको कैसे अपने कैंपेन्स प्लान करना है. शिवम ने बहुत तरीके बताए हैं. So if anyone has any questions, they can type. Meanwhile, I would love to know once from Dr. Debajyoti, from you, and then Farooq, कि how are you implementing MyOperator for your brand? So say PrepMed में, how are you implementing MyOperator and how has been your experience with MyOperator services? If you can please let us know.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, my operator is doing good, definitely. We are getting good support from the my operator. We are using the IVR support from the my operator, and we are calling on regular basis with my operator. And not only that, SMS portal is also good. We can use that as well. And probably, yeah, these two the portals which are very effective, I think, in the my operator, and the dashboards are good enough to find out all the required details
And I'm
to
assuming
track
you
the
are
sales
using
team.
this to again contact students, like Farooq sir was saying, calling students, contacting them from time to time.
Sorry, I missed
I'm
that part.
saying, I'm saying like you're using MyOperator for this purpose, like calling students and then sending them details.
Right now, we are only using the IVR actually, just to call, and we have to get the IVR inbound call as well for the service as well. We have a separate service dashboard. So we are getting the feedback from the student as well. So right now we are mostly using the to collect the feedbacks. At the same point of time, some kind of outbound call also we are making with my operator. But mainly we are using the inbounds. We are getting good inbounds call to collect the proper services.
Sounds about right. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Kar. Farooq sir, can you please let us know how you are implementing MyOperator's services?
The best part of MyOperator is like in education, we have the seasonality business. Like after the result, flow will increase suddenly. At the time of competitive exams, जो what we conduct to earn the incentive, हमारे flow बहुत ज़्यादा बढ़ जाता है, and we have a limited time when we need to connect lakhs of the students. So that time, my operator played very important role. Like how you can connect with 60,000, 70,000 people in a day. So manually it is not possible. So whatever information you want to collect, you want to see the interest rate, you want to know about they are joining the exam or not. So for this thing, my operator is very good for us, and we have used their services for a long time. They are very much aware about the changes happening in the telecom. So based on that, they are upgrading their product. They have some features in WhatsApp that are also very helpful. The messaging services are very helpful. My experience is quite good with MyOperator till now.
Thank you so much. We just wanted, this feedback, direct live feedback, so that people again, word of mouth works. So audience can understand the technologies like MyOperator are helpful for brands as big as Akash or budding brands who have gained ground like PrepMed. So, tech is very useful. I think we have just one question, and that is regarding MyOperator only. Uh, I think that's very good. Uh, how do I put it? A scenario, because I've seen overall that when there are lesser question, it means whatever the speakers have put up throughout the session has reached to each and every person, and they have understood it very well. So, Shivam, if you can just answer this one question about MyOperator, that what is MyOperator and what sort of services do we provide?
So, thank you, Sanat. So, MyOperator is primarily a communication technology platform where we provide services related to telephony, SMS, voice broadcast, WhatsApp, uh, and other associated services. So, what we do is we bundle these services in a fashion that suits your use case. So let's say if you are an edtech company, we would probably bundle the telephony, SMS, WhatsApp in a way that it suits your particular use case, whether it is the admission season or probably whether it is sending the results to your parents, to the students' parents, that can be managed. If it's a different industry, there is altogether a different use case. So we've working with over 12,000 plus customers in 12 geographies, and ओके फारूक सर के लिए आया है ये।
फारूक सर की
तो
डिमांड है।
माय ऑपरेटर में आपको जो भी मतलब जो भी आप चैलेंज फेस कर रहे हो या जो भी आपको सोल्यूशन चाहिए, यू कैन रीच आउट टू अस। उससे रिलेटेड हम लोग आपको सोल्यूशन बना के दे देंगे।
Sounds good. Farooq sir, somebody is asking for a LinkedIn details. So if you are active on LinkedIn, you are on mute. Sorry.
It's a Farooq Aakash.
Just Farooq Aakash.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible. I'm just adding what you said. You can search for Farooq Aakash. I think that's how people can find you, right? Sounds good. I'll take a moment to ask if there are any other questions. Otherwise, then we'll wind up the session. This has been really insightful. What is the procedure? I think, Shivam, this is for MyOperator only. But I think you can, Shivam, do we have any link, or I think I can drop your email over here. Is that okay? Yeah, Shivam can. So you can reach out at this number and you can connect with people at. Okay, so this was dropped to us, Shivam. I'll just add the number. For MyOperator services, people can reach out here. Services. Awesome. Cool. All right, then. So since there are no more questions around the topic, I would just thank Farooq sir, you, Dr. Debajyoti. Thank you so much for sparing out time, and Shivam, of course, for bringing the tech angle to this. What I learned through and through about education industry from both of you is that it is largely driven by word of mouth. आप एक साल advertising अच्छी करके बहुत सारा discount वगैरह करके business tactics लगा के एक साल 2 साल खींच लोगे business को, but उससे आगे नहीं जा पाओगे. So word of mouth has to work. And secondly, you have to engage parents equally. Take quite a lot of feedback, but as Farooq sir said, सारे feedback पे काम नहीं करना है, उस पे काम करना है जो genuinely business sense बनाता है, जो genuinely problem है, जो problem नहीं है उसको solve करने की जरूरत नहीं है. Any closing points from both of you are most welcome, or three of you rather. Any closing points from you are most welcome.
Yeah, from my side, I would say Okay, from my side, what I would say that absolutely it's all about the success triangle. Success triangle means student is the main hero, and definitely we have to take the parents and the academic team and the service team, better to say, in the same triangle. So it's all about how your business will be prospected in front of others. It's completely depends upon how your success triangle is working. So you can clearly point it out: the student, the parents, the service team. Entire thing has to be part of your journey. They should not feel segregated. It's not the student only things, or like academic teams are बहुत बढ़िया है, but other things are not working. So there should be a very good synergy between all these three, and then only the things will work.
From my side, I think the service delivery is the most important thing in our industry. And the second, the both kind of service, academic and non-academic, both are equally important. And just continue delivering the best. Result will come few times in 1 year, few times in 3 years. So आएगा result, but that will be the actual result what you will get. So delivery पे focus करना है first, especially for 2-3 years of the business. जब आप शुरू करते हो.
Sounds good. Sure, please unmute.
Sorry, just from my end, I mean, I got hold of a statement that Farooq sir said that nobody wants to be sold, everybody wants to be helped. मैंने इसको note कर लिया है. So the humane side, I mean, at the end of the day, you are selling to is human. And उनका intent नहीं होता है मुझे कोई बेचे. उनका intent ये होता है कि if somebody can help me. So we need to probably maintain that aspect और उसकी sanctity. जो इंटेंट होता है, इरादा, जिस नियत से आप काम कर रहे होते हो, वो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होती है. अगर वो नियत है कि आपको मदद करनी है, तो आपको सेल्स करने की जरूरत नहीं है, वो ऑटोमेटिकली सेल्स हो जाएगी. सो दैट इज समथिंग दैट आई प्रोबेबली इस स्टेटमेंट को मैं यूज करूंगा आगे. ठीक है.
For sure. So we'll quote Farooq sir probably next time we are putting a word around on socials with this statement. Will be noted, I think, in golden history. Thank you so much once again, guys, for joining us in the evening today. It was a very insightful session. I'm sure audience also enjoyed this. Once again, thanks audience as well. It was fun talking to you all. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank
I'll see you
you.
next time.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.